So here in front of me we got Google Maps open, and I wanted to talk about the archetypes or like the energies related to different areas in the world. All right, so here is the chakra system, right? Which is these energy centers in the body. Now, I hope you already know what this stuff is, but if you don't, essentially these are like the energetic areas or the spatial areas in the body, so like places in the body that relate to like organs and glands and like different, I guess, vibrations of energy. The same way like musical notes of a, like different strings and all that. And of course, the bottom one here is the root and the sacral, which is like the bladder. So this is like the bowels and the and like the generative area. And of course, this is the bladder and also the sexual organs. This is like the digestive system, but also solar plexus for the solar plexus one. This is the heart and the lungs. This is the throat. This is the head and like the brain. And this is the crown or the higher parts of the brain. Now, if we apply this to the world, and mind you, this is a Google Maps, it's not exactly an accurate thing. And what you've got to realize is that this is curved around. So Russia looks absolutely giant, while I guess India and also Africa and Australia don't look so big. But the truth is, Russia is not that large because this is curved around here, right? Here's actually an image. It's a little difficult to see, but it's an image to show roughly the size of countries. You can see like China and Australia look pretty much the same size roughly. Like the USA is kind of the same size, but then Africa is just huge and South America is pretty big. So here's a flat Earth map, or what you might call a pilot map, because a pilot would use a flat Earth map to more accurately fly. And don't mind the outer territories. I don't know if that's real or not, but it's interesting. The point being, just look in the middle area. You can see that all of the countries are curved. And I guess while we're on the subject, here is a old map of the northern continent. I assume you call this Hyperborea or Atlantis or something. It's pretty much what Google Maps doesn't want to show you, what new maps don't want to show you, and what they say is the North Pole. Now, whether this is underwater or over water and we're just not being told about it, we're really allowed to go there, I don't really know. The video is not about that, but at least this will be the crown center throughout the video. So the first things obviously that I see is that South Africa here, and you can see how it's all kind of like dried out and nasty here. I don't know about you. I'm a greenery enjoyer, I like, yes, nice greenery or very nice. But you see how it's all kind of like this. This is the root, the root here. What does it look like? Why does it go from all this deserty stuff to then, ooh, look, it's green now, earth to water. And then what happens when we go above? Oh, it's all yellow now. The yellow is the solar plexus. So solar plexus, sacral, or bladder, and bowel, or root, right? Same thing here. If we look at Australia, Australia really is just the root. I see it as just the root, right? The sacral would more be here. Look at all this water. Look at all this greenery. And then it starts to kind of, I guess the solar plexus would be more, it'd be, I don't know, around this whole belt was like Saudi Arabia, Iran, maybe potentially India to some extent, I don't know, or even the Xinjiang desert, I don't know. But then going on, so in the Mediterranean region, so like Italy, Spain, France, maybe Croatia, Greece, etc. Maybe this would be the heart, though, of course, southern Italy is still very solar plexus-y, right? It's still very, because you got to think, the solar plexus is the energy center. Look at all this desert. It's infinite amounts of solar energy, essentially infinite amounts of oil, petrochemical energy, right? So these whole areas here, they make their money off basically just petrochemicals. But you know, if you put a bunch of solar panels here, you get a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy in these areas, right? What is there in abundance in the lower areas? There's minerals. In Australia, there's minerals. And if we go to, you know, South America, it's the same thing. This is the root. So this, like Argentina, you know, Chile, is Santiago. Is that it? I don't know. It's just Chile, Argentina, you know, Uruguay. And then once it gets to Brazil, you know, what is all this greenery, all these rivers? This is sacral. And then I guess we would go to. See, it's a very strong kind of sacral area. But then I guess Mexico and like maybe Texas would be like solar plexus. You know, there's lots of energy, lots of sun, lots of activity, right? And then I guess the heart would be, I don't know, this area maybe or something. Again, you got to remember this is curved. It's got to be curved. So it's kind of awkward to just say like lines. You know, I'd have to make curved lines. And then when we get to Canada, it's more like the throat, the head. And when you start getting to the icy places, like the top of, you know, Russia, it's usually this would be, you know, kind of icy, I guess, depending on when they took a picture of it. These islands here and such, this is all like this top area is getting more to mind and crown. And also, if you know about Hyperborea, the idea of the box saga, pretty much like the Russians, I mean, well, from a long time ago, but like the Swedes and the Finlands and Norway, and even like the red-headed Irish, and you know, there's all these ideas of and the Icelanders. Supposedly they came from this northern continent that Google Maps will not show us because they do not want our minds awoken. But you can go look on old maps and you can see that they've got like these crazy they've got like these 4 continents, and like that's the Hyperborea, you know, when seasons were different and they weren't as cold, and that would be the crown. And then going back, you know, Europe and Russia. Why are Russians like the smartest programmers, you know, really good scientists? Why are these northern people, you know, the Finns and Swedes and such? Why are they all such good programmers, and they're very intelligent, they have high IQ? Even like, you know, UK, Ireland, you know, Germany, Poland. It's like this is like the third eye chakra and the throat chakra to an extent. We all use English. So who knows, maybe England or English, French, and I guess Spanish to an extent are like three most dominant languages. So these are like, to an extent, these are, you know, around the throat. Spain is more, Spain and French is more like heart and even leading to the navel, but not digestive system. But, you know, point being is like, at least UK, England, that'd be like the throat, right? So you can just look at it, these layers like root and then sacral kind of around here. See, like, you know, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, you know, Brazil, sacral, and then it's like Mexico, like Middle East, you know, North Africa. I don't know, these mountainous places maybe it's like more digestive, like solar plexus, and the heart's more like, and for Asia, it's complicated. I don't really know. China's kind of like solar plexus-y. I guess this area is kind of more like solar plexus-y, and then maybe we kind of get to, I don't know, like, it's difficult because I think it's not like super logical and like orderly, I guess, because you see how this was all mountainous around here, and then it's like that's green, it's like a belt of greenery, and it's like green around the edges here. So it's, I think also depending on how close it is to the sea, could have an effect. Though I guess, you know, that's right next to the sea, you know, it's a wasteland of sand, I guess. And then once we get back to Russia and all these, like the, you know, places, you'd be like throat and you know, third eye and all that stuff. So I don't really know for Asia, besides just, you know, as I said, solar plexus. And Japan's kind of its own Japan's almost like throat-ish because it's very nervous system dominant. You see Japan's very green. It's green and mountainous. I don't know, maybe it'd be like similar to Europe. You know, very mountainous terrain. But Japan's a very unique. The geography and like the energy of Japan is very strange. It reminds me a lot of New Zealand. How New Zealand or Hawaii, New Zealand, Japan, Hawaii. But the point being is that they have strange almost, and like California actually as well. They have like very strange energy that leads to a lot of prosperity to an extent. I don't know, but either way, Japanese people are very nervous system dominant. So as I said, Russian people they're like nervous system dominant, but they're in a very earthly place almost. It's almost root-like to an extent because there's so many, like so much oil, so many minerals. But it's also, it's Europeans, like mountains and trees. It's good for growing stuff, I guess. I don't know. Depending specifically where. Probably the mountains are difficult, but you get the point, right? So anyway, I guess go look at the maps yourselves and like apply it